Wow, what China just did yesterday is historic and changes everything. And the White House was even asked about it, and they just kind of blew it off. We're not really worried about it. But they are worried about it, and they are watching it very closely because this changes everything. Watch.
Xi Jinping made history today. The Chinese president landed in Riyadh. A red carpet awaited him. A historic Arab-China summit is to take place. And as the cameras of the world zoomed into Saudi Arabia, it was the United States that was watching most closely, with worry, with fear. America was watching its oil diplomacy fall apart.
So, wow, it is happening. More on that major piece of news in a second. But first, another major blow to the US dollar yesterday. Overnight, we learned that the BRICS nations are now expanding. Yes, Egypt has officially joined the BRICS Development Bank. So let's be clear what's happening right in front of our faces. The BRICS nations of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa are building their own reserve currency built on gold and other commodities like uranium, graphite, copper. The United States dollar is built on debt and the nothing, just like the never-ending story.
What is the nothing?
It's the emptiness that's left.
What is the nothing? Well, Atreyu, the nothing is a failure of Western hegemony, which is built on a house of cards. And now Egypt is applying for full membership in the BRICS alliance, but they're joining the bank piece of this first. And also Turkey, Saudi Arabia, they're both applying for BRICS membership as well, away from the US dollar as a reserve currency. So you can just imagine for a moment, a Russia, Saudi, China, India currency backed by gold. It's game on. Now, BRICS is working to develop its own financial infrastructure, including a joint payment network, with some member states having already switched to trade in local currencies in order to reduce dependence on the US dollar and the euro. The 5 BRICS economies currently account for more than 40% of the world's population and nearly a quarter of global GDP. So, guys, it's happening. And then you want to layer in Saudi Arabia and Turkey and Egypt. Again, this house of cards is falling. So this BRICS news is a huge piece of the story. So why is Saudi Arabia turning its back on the United States? Well, it can be traced back to one event, one big event, the start of the war in Ukraine. OPEC Plus and Saudi Arabia specifically warned the United States not to impose sanctions on Russia. They didn't listen. Europe didn't listen. Instead, they pig-headedly did the opposite, and we thought our relationship with Saudi Arabia would continue unabated. We'll just continue to buy your oil, send you weapons, and everything will be okay. Nope, not even close. In fact, this is a failure of the Biden administration of the highest order, and it will hurt America's ability to secure low-cost oil, period. And John Kirby was asked about it, and he said, the Saudis love us. We'll go. We've got nothing to worry about. Clearly, we're better partners than they are. Forget those Chinese and those Russian partners. Who cares? So they're living in a fantasy world at the White House. So let's unpack why this is a game changer for the U.S. power dynamic. Now, President Xi Jinping never leaves his country. He's kind of like me, never leaving my house. He only leaves when he's making big deals to weaken the United States and strengthen China, meeting with Putin to create a new BRICS currency and leave behind the US dollar, or flying to Kazakhstan, which he did. In September, President Xi flew to Kazakhstan to secure a huge oil guarantee for lower cost petroleum for China, and also refined copper for making electronics. And in return, China will send electronics and shoes and manufactured clothing back to Kazakhstan. And now a trip to Saudi Arabia for Xi Jinping to line up massive amounts of oil for China. Now, this comes just months after President Joe Biden bumbled his way through the Middle East and vowed in a speech during his visit to Saudi Arabia that the United States would not leave a vacuum in the Middle East to be filled by China, Russia, and Iran. Watch.
Tomorrow, I'll also be laying out an affirmative framework for America's engagement in the Middle East to build on these important steps going forward. The bottom line is this trip is about, once again, positioning America in this region for the future. We are not going to leave a vacuum in the Middle East for Russia or China to fill, and we're getting results.
Saudi Arabia has traditionally been one of the U.S. closest partners in the region and relies heavily on American military aid. But now, of course, that's changing right before our eyes. The Saudis even launched jets and chemtrailed the skies with the colors of the Chinese flag. They didn't do that for the United States. The Saudis love chemtrails and cloud seeding. What better way to welcome China than with a little rain from our cloud seeding program? So we've seen the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia give the middle finger to the United States over the past few weeks and openly build closer ties with China, its largest trading partner, and with Russia, and with whom it leads the OPEC Plus grouping. Want to know just how bad it is? We've covered this more deeply in our show. I'll put a card here up on the screen up here for you guys to watch, where we actually went deeper into the Saudi Crown Prince story, ordering the execution of Washington Post reporter Jamal Khashoggi. And President Biden...
Okay, that's enough for that. He kind of hit you what I wanted you to see. Shalom, shalom, Yahshua. I want to start off first things first, giving all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Rahakadash, which in the Paleo-Hebrew tongues, correct names of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And shalom to you sisters and brothers living this truth. And shalom to the brothers and sisters that's listening and studying, show themselves approved. Shalom. Now, as you seen from that clip, the dollar has just took another death blow. It's pretty much dead in the water now. Because now you have the Saudis, OPEC, who distribute oil to everybody around the world, who is the U.S.'s biggest supplier, is now dealing with Russia and now dealing with China. What they're doing with the BRICS nations, they're cutting Babylon the Great out. The economy is done. That's why, these Babylonian Edomites are going to have no choice but to bow down to the small hatters, 1948ers, the Ish people, bow down to them and go into the MOTB system, because the U.S. economy is now finished. It's done with. When they got off their gold and silver standard and taxed their money to the petrodollar, that was dumb. And now their stupidity has come to a head, and now they're finished because their partners don't want to deal with them no more. They didn't want them. They told the Saudis, said, don't put no sanctions on my buddy over there in Russia. They did it anyway. And Europe did it too. And so they said, okay, you don't mess with my buddy. He strengthened his ties with Russia. And now China, so they're cutting the USA out of the oil trade. And that's going to have big repercussions on the American economy, because we're going to see gas prices shoot up in the next couple, maybe weeks to months. You're going to see it. Once they get done with their little wicked pagan holiday, the gas price is going to shoot up. And everything is tied to cheap gasoline, because if the gas go up, the food's going to go up. And Babylon the Great really is dead. It's done. Because, Babylon the Great is built on what? It's economic power. They're no longer the number one power, man. And now it's China, Russia, the BRICS nations. The U.S. done got knocked down a few slots. And then these other countries that's doing this are too big to go bully. Usually when somebody try to make a way to get their money up and cut the USA out, the USA to send the military and bully them. Hey, man, you better use my dollar. And they'll go and just destroy the whole country like it did the Middle East. But see, you can't do that to Russia. You can't do that to China, because they can fight back. And those are the ones that's cutting you out. Now the U.S. is looking crazy, which is good for us, because that's Babylon the Great. And Babylon now, through their bad business practice, they bad people skills, because everybody's starting to hate Esau. Everything is just falling flat on their face. And that's why they got to bring in this MOTB system. The dollar is about to be, it's pretty much dead. They don't want to come out and tell the public that, because that'll create panic. But the public going to find out. How you going to find out? When inflation hits. When everything is all high and everything, all chaos is going abound. And then they might just announce man, hey, good occur. We're not using the US dollar anymore. We're going to the Fed coin. Report to this place and get your, retrofitted with your device so you can access the new money. Akbayan said this bank done change. He got to get with another bank. They making this move, man. This ain't no joke, no game. It's Babylon is done. And see, if you're in the right spirit, that'll really make you happy. Because that's the downfall of our enemy. This corrupt, evil kingdom is now starting to get its just due. It's crumbling. This the house of cards right now. This place is finished, man. And I know a lot of people man, America never get knocked down. America always gonna be great. And this and that, man, Yahweh say otherwise. This place is done. So let's go get the scriptures, baby. Let's go get to that to show you why it's done. You know, it's set against Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. And Edomites always did wrong. And so that's why this place gotta go. Let's go to James 5:3. I love this one because it's talking about their economy and their money. And this, this precept hitting hard right now because their economy, Babylon's money is over with. It's done. Like, they are finished. Like, they are backed in the corner, like, finish him. You know, and they're done. So check it out. This is James 5:1. Go to now, yea, rich man, weep and howl, for your miseries shall come upon you. All these rich Edomites that got the, the Wall Street, got the millions in the bank, all of that, man, they about to start howling in a minute, man. The economy is about to belly up. You just lost all your ore deals. Your biggest supplier, your biggest connect, you just lost that. You need that for that's the whole backbone of your system is oil and gas. You finished. So these rich men are about to holler. You seen it already when that crypto crashed, the FTX. When that crashed, they start hollering. This holler about to get louder once this thing settling in, once they realize what done happened. And it says, your riches are corrupted and your garbage moth eaten. And Esau's riches always been corrupted because he got it by deceit. He didn't get it by being a smart businessman and making good deals and knowing how to do business. No, man, they got their riches off bloodshed. They used our people in hard bondage slavery. They destroyed our people and took our goods, the ones that had something. They first got us. And they didn't get or build anything. Everything you got was off the back of Yasharallah, whether it be northern tribe or southern tribe. That's how this devil got rich. And now that, see, they great-great-grandfather knew back in the day, like, you want your business to run good or you want to do something special, steal your idea from an Israelite, the brown man. Steal your idea from them. And see, now, 3-4 generations down, these Edomites believed that they was smart. They believed that they was great. And now they're getting that hard reality that really you ain't nothing. You a fool. You a children of base men. So without stealing Jake's ideas and going to Jake for counsel, their whole system is now just collapsing under their feet because Esau been dumb. He had a little wisdom to at least be smart enough to steal from other, the people that had it. Now the devil got so dumb, he thought he was smart. So he stopped stealing our ideas and getting counsel from us, and now his kingdom is collapsing. And that's great news. That is very great news. That the devil was getting his just due. Like, you thought you were smart? No, devil, you're stupid. And now this is proving you stupid. Proof in the pudding. Look at your economy. Look what you done did. You done ran yourself into debt. A whole debt system. And done by, the people you look up to. Yo ish people. 1948ers, those people. They robbed you of everything you had. And just because y'all look the same, you thought it was cool. Now they all of a sudden, now they seeing the bad, what they getting and the bad end of the stick. They all like, oh, we got to band together. We got to fight. I'm like, I'm not about to bang with you and fight with you for this wicked country. Is you crazy? You go get your own head blown off for your old wicked, messed up country. You go do that. That's your job. This country ain't never been for me or my people. So I'm loving that it's getting tore up. I'm loving the economy's all messed up. And I'm leaning on the Lord to provide everything I need when Jacob's trouble hit. So check, I'm going to hit number 3 too. It says, your gold and silver is cakered. Where am I? Yeah. And the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Yea, heap treasure together for the last days. See, that back to everything I just said right there. It said, and the rust should be a witness against you. So your failed economy is showing that you're dumb and you didn't deserve to run nothing. You ain't never had a backbone, And he said, you have heaped treasure together for the last days. So we about to, all the little stuff they about to gather now, before Yahweh Ba'ashem Shah bring that fire, they just setting that up for us, man. We gonna enjoy that. Like, oh yeah, give me that, man. I'm looking for these little Range Rovers. Thanks for the gift, Esau. Because Esau about to go out bad. He's done. He finished, man. You can see it. I can see it at my job, how they just be looking, man. Like, they be looking like they want to cry. But some of them did last time. But I believe they about to do it again. Everybody getting Esau getting his little bug out bag together. Esau know America's done. They see the writing on the wall. This economy will not recover. It's going to only get worse. It might put a Band-Aid on it, but it's going to collapse. Guaranteed. And I noticed that's those 1948ers, man. They crashed in Russia and Europe as well. Like, they want everybody locked into, you know, that government. Because everybody's getting knocked right now. Everybody. I noticed they making a deal with China to get the oil, but China just came out of a hardcore lockdown, so their economy is messed up. And see, you can tell the 1948ers got their hands all over this. You know, when the people start to wake up, what do? Make the people fight each other, show your differences. And I watched the little small hatters walk out, and they be cheesing like, man, I'm gonna get this money. They still stupid. But the people, man, hey, as I say, Yabba Shah spirit pouring out heavy right now. And it ain't looking good for Esau, man, at all. His gold and silver is cankered. His economy's messed up. That's going to lead into his system starting to break up. Police system, fire, people about to, you know, not have no work. You know, they ain't going to be able to pay their city workers. So it's about to get real bad. Real bad. And I can just see it very vividly. And it's a beautiful thing to see, like I said earlier. To see Babylon the Great, this is something like I wanted to see in my former lifetimes, and it didn't happen. But now in our lifetime, oh, we gonna see it. We are going to see Babylon the Great be destroyed, and that's good news. So let's go to Jeremiah 50 and 42. Nah, Salakia. Let me go to Jeremiah 50 and 24. That's where I want to go. And check this out. Check out what Yahweh said. He said, I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou wast waste, not aware, that art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord. See? So Babylon the Great, really them, like I said, I think they did that when Nixon was president, them taking their money off the gold standard. That was, man, Yahweh set a snare up to you. You are now trapped. You are trapped in your own broken system, and you didn't want to elevate Jake to positions who could have preserved you and restored you like Joseph did for Egypt. But now they just want to keep that hatred was so strong. They want to keep Jake at, like, you know, a low level. Which that's cool, because we're gonna get exalted by Yahweh Shah in due time. Like I said, man, that was not aware. And it said those that are striven against the Lord. Who strives against the Lord, man? Esau. And he gets the 2/3 Jakes to do it as well. And they do it, and they looking crazy and bougie. I be looking like, man, you finished, man. You're going to go down with this devil. So let's get to another one. Let's go to show you that Babylon the Great is destroyed, is fallen. Let's go to Revelation. Because you got purge laws about to come out. You know, these devils know it's over with. That's why they're trying to do a global reset. This devil, I need a reset. The devil trying to get a do-over. You're not going to get that, devil. Ain't no more do-over. So check it out. This is Revelation 18 and 2. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is falling. It's falling. It has become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage every unclean and hateful bird. You know? So, man, he said, Babylon the Great is falling. It's falling, man. It's a habitation of devils. And that's true. All these little Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Meta, these little self-serving, these little gremlins, little demons, I see them every single day. Especially when I go to work. Like, man, you was just messed up. You know, they got the demons on your butt. And it said, and got a hold of every foul spirit in the cage, man, they got to be locked in the cage. You know, you got to lock them in the cage. If you don't, they going to, you know, they're going to get out there and spread they mischief. So we're in the season where Esau is now about to get that yoke of iron on his neck. Esau going to know what it's like to pull chain. Esau going to know what it's like to work 15 hours a day and you get $2. Esau going to know, we ain't going to give Esau nothing. Because it said we got to give double. So in the kingdom, we ain't giving E nothing. He just going to work, maybe get some chicken feet. You know, tell him you better make a delicacy out of that. Here you some chicken feet, some chicken guts. Eat that and get back to work. That's what going to tell Esau. So this thing going out heavy, man. I mean, real heavy. And I'm loving it. So I'm going to go leave off this right here. Now, I didn't mean for this to be long. I just want to get to a point. I showed the clip. Show you that, you know, Esau is finished. And it'll show you that Jake is waking up, man. Jake are waking up. Let me see, where is this at? Yeah, let's go get that. Ecclesiasticus of Sirach 10:8. And it reads, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. And see, Esau don't want that transition. Esau too proud. Esau never be like, man, you take the ramp, I'm gonna take the stairs. You know, Esau's not about doing anything beneficial. Or they'll fade it, but eventually their real colors are always shown. That's why he said never to trust him, because like iron rustles show of his wickedness. So it might not show at the time, but it's in his heart, it's in his mind. So that right there is why this place is getting busted up, man, because they got their riches by deceit. You know, unrighteous dealings, breaking the peace treaties with the northern tribe. You know, they just ran through the southern tribe. They just ran straight through them. Like, you don't even matter. I remember playing basketball at AAU for my cousin's team, and he was just like, you know, we ain't got no spot for you, man. We ain't got nothing, you know. It's over with. And that's the same way this thing is going down. Because it's good too. Because like the scripture just said right there, it says the kingdom is translated from one people to another. So what's happening is the kingdom of heaven is coming, you know. Which I'm gonna go get that. I wasn't gonna get it, but let's go get that. This is why we get joy. This is why we happy. Like, because we know the kingdom of heaven is coming. Oh, New Testament, man. You tripping. Well, our kingdom is coming next. And it's going to be an everlasting kingdom. Let me see if I can get that. I know it's in Peter. There we go. 2 Peter 3:13. Nonetheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth, wherein righteousness dwelleth. Wherein dwelleth righteousness. Salakias, let me say it right. Wherein dwelleth righteousness. It said new heavens, new earth. It's going to be an actual new earth? No. It's going to be new rulership. A new kingdom. Yasharal about to rule next. Why? Because Esau didn't do right. He didn't do right with his money. He didn't do the money system right. You know, he got his riches by deceit, off the bloodshed of Yasharallah. You know, dealing treacherously, breaking peace deals, treaties. You know, he treated Yasharallah the worst. And that's how this devil got everything he got, was off the back of Yasharallah. So now we're seeing his kingdom be destroyed. Just like ancient Egypt was destroyed. The first thing that started happening to them, the locusts ate up all the crops. That was the economy. That was ancient Egypt's economy, man, when the locusts ate up the crops. So now we're seeing how that's doing nowadays is that these other countries are now taking away Babylon the Great, America's deals. Taking away their deals, man, stealing their allies. You know, Saudis don't deal with Babylon the Great. They deal with Russia and China and everybody else. All these little countries are hating Babylon the Great. You know, you're about to hate Babylon the Great in a minute too. It said the beast shall hate the whore. That's about to happen. You know, which I might show that real quick. I might flex that real quick to show you that that's happening. Like the scriptures, man, hey, this is so lovely, man. Yahweh Shah is showing everything on a grand scale, man, right before our eyes. Yeah, I'm gonna go. Look, check this out. What is that, 5 minutes? Let's watch this real quick, y'all. Let Europe tell you they dang selves. Like they regret listening to Babylon the Great America.
In industry and households.
We've been through a lot lately. We've survived the sanctions policy that misled us under the pretext that the sanctions policy would bring Russia to its knees. The Russians have doubled their business. There is no question of bringing Russia to its knees at all. On the contrary, we say how Austria harms itself and how Europe harms itself, where we ourselves actually suffered more from the sanctions. And we see rising prices for electricity and gas, for food in Europe. More and more people will suffer from this.
So after the European Union cutting itself off from Russian oil and Russian gas, European industry and households can't afford to pay the high costs of the remaining gas, either that's in the reserves or imported liquefied natural gas from the U.S., priced at 2 to 4 times the U.S. market rate, as French President Emmanuel Macron complained to Joe Biden during his state visit to the White House earlier this month. So Europe made a mess of its own economy with its own sanctions and is forcing everyone to lie in this mess, as European politicians are now routinely pointing out.
The problem is, we're going to destroy what's left over from our industry. The few businesses who stayed are contemplating moving to another country, for example to the US, where energy is much cheaper. One last thing, the genius of our ecologists and our elites. You noticed that with the conflict in Ukraine, we gave up on Russian gas and rushed towards American gas, the famous LNG. You noticed that even ecologists stopped criticizing this type of gas. But do you know where it comes from?
As for Russian gas, it's Putin who stopped deliveries towards Europe.
No, it's us who boycotted the Russian gas supplies. We said we don't want it anymore. And he said we will not supply to you anymore then.
It's been far too long since European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen promised Europeans some relief, even as energy bills continue to pile up. So what's Brussels' brilliant idea to fix its mess? To cap the price of gas now. It seems that they're desperate to fix the situation of their own making, as Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov explains.
Amid the absurd and frantic desire, as the Europeans say, to get rid of their dependence on Russia, they do not say at the same time that they want to exchange one dependence for another. That is, they have now changed their dependence on Russia for dependence on American liquefied natural gas. It's exactly the same dependence. There is much less reciprocity. And now, when the Europeans lose billions of euros every day, the United States is now earning billions of dollars there.
But there's another problem. The European Commission knows full well that setting the cap too low could mean screwing up the bloc's energy market even more than it already has. There's also the question of which countries could actually stop selling gas to Europe altogether. Because, well, since when does the customer demand a certain price that they will pay? We're talking about global energy markets here, but the EU is basically saying that it wants to haggle over the price of gas like it's a dog-eared fourth-hand comic book on sale at the local neighborhood garage sale. Even the European Central Bank is warning of the risk of financial instability with this move, as are some EU countries like Germany and the Netherlands. The European Commission knows the risks, which is why it's just paying lip service to the idea, with a price cap so high that it's virtually useless at 275 euros per megawatt hour. Europe's natural gas is trading right now at about 135.5 euros per megawatt hour. And even at that price, people and businesses are struggling. So there are 12 EU countries now demanding a lower price cap, somewhere between 200 and 150 euros. And those 12 countries could very well veto anything higher as the bloc's energy ministers meet to tackle this issue this week. Not only has Brussels jeopardized its own energy security and economic security, but also its military security as it ships its weapons off to Ukraine. That hasn't gone unnoticed either by European political and industrial figures.
Military stocks have disappeared altogether, but we continue to send arms and ammunition to Zelensky. Let's stop this complete madness.
Bundeswehr? Previously, it had more than 2,000 Leopard 2 tanks. Now there are about 300 of them. It may still be able to defend Augsburg with them, but not Berlin.
The good news is that it's still not too late to pull out of the nosedive. But unfortunately, the pilots at the controls here in Europe seem more interested in proving that everyone is on board and united as they hurtle towards Earth, cheering, bam, take that, Putin.
Now, unlike what she said, that's that make America great again. Talk about we pull out this nose. Nah, you're not pulling out this nosedive. You're not pulling out of it. You know, Yahweh Shah has a you know, he got indignation against the nation of Esau, whether it be European or American. So they're not going to pull out of this. And like we read in that precept earlier, you laid that snare for yourself. You're not getting out of this. And they know they not. And see, you know why they not getting out of it? Because the 1948ers ain't going to let them get out of it. This thing is going to lead into a global reset. I notice all the global economies are going to crash. Because China just secured and cut the USA out their oil deal, but they just also came out of a lockdown. You know, that's going to have big time repercussions. So, as I'm seeing it, Yasharallah, the Amalekites, you know, the 1948ers, the small hats, they're crashing the world economy, period. Because they're trying to bring in the MOTB, the B system. So all world economies are going to collapse. You know, this Babylon the Great is going to be so brutal because didn't nobody ever think this could happen. This Babylon the Great has been eating so deliciously for so long, she seemed like she was invincible. Now there's help for, you know, she's smoking meth, she taking shots. Hey, Babylon the Great looking real vulnerable right now. Military weak, you know, ain't looking so good, man, at all. And we know where it's going to lead to. It's going to lead to the MOTB system. And they're going to bring it in because they know they done crashed the economy. They messed up when they let their Federal Reserve get erected. You know, when they let somebody else bank in your country and then they charge you to print off your own money and you go for that, they lost their country then. So that Federal Reserve got put in place and the number one money institution in Babylon the Great America, it was over with right then and there. You know, most Edomites, they don't look into that or know that. But that's when they got done in. So now we're watching them circle the drain or on their little deathbed, you know, struggling. And it's about to get real when all hell break loose. It's going to get real, Yasharallah. So we got to be in this special council, the secret place, we Yahweh Shah, stay prayed up and stay there. Because it's about to, hang on to your hard hat. Because I might do, Lord willing, another lesson, man. They about to run in the demic with this situation to cover up the fact that they done messed their money up. What they always say, they're saying, mess the church's money up. You done mess with the church's money. Hey, Babylon the Great done messed their money up, man. Ain't no fixing it either. They're going to do a reset. And then we know how they're going to do the reset. They're going to go digital. And you got to be retrofitted with the device. If not, hey, we hunting you down. We're going to get a chance for re-education. If you don't go for it, hey, we're going to try to lay you out. This is the new system. You got to do it. But they're trying to lay out a lot of people anyway. They say they overpopulated. Esau trying to cut Jake's numbers down. So it's going to be a lot of bloodshed coming up, man. Especially when they announce the dollar has now crashed. We're moving to the Fed coin. Woo! That's going to create panic right there. They going to go crazy. That's Jake realized, what you mean? My money ain't good no more? And he got about 30 racks on him, man. And he ain't got nothing but 30 racks of paper, you know? And then if anything, like I'm up here using a little slang, 30 racks mean 30,000 for any older people listening to me. So say somebody got $30,000, Esau say the dollar crash, and you got $30,000 of paper, useless. And that's going to make people bug out. They ain't in the right spirit, man. They're going, man, this thing about to get real. And you can see, I'm showing you what Esau's saying. Like, these presidents, they making the moves. So they like, oh, they not doing that. They not gonna do that. Man, they doing it. I'm showing you proof of them doing it, man. China's president has made strong ties with Russia. So, man, Babylon the Great, I wouldn't want to be in Babylon the Great's military right about now. So with that, I hope this is edifying. I want to say Kwam Yashar Allah, Detail Ababa Ball, and Shalom.